This is Public Report, a public affairs presentation of KTVW. The opinions expressed in this program does not necessarily reflect the views of the Trinity Broadcasting Network.
Hello everyone, my name is Tina Lombard and you're watching Public Report. Today we're going to be talking about prepaid college tuition and college programs, and with us today we've got some representatives of GET. I've got with us Betty Lochner, and she's the director of GET, and we also have Ryan Betts, who is the marketing and promoting manager of GET. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
So tell us really quick, we want to paint a picture of somebody who wants to go to college, very talented, very gifted, has a lot of opportunities, but they have no money for college. Okay, so what happens when people have no money for college when they're about ready to go?
They usually end up taking on a lot of debt.
Okay.
Right now, the average debt, I think last year for Washington students was $30,000 coming out of college, and we know some of that is a lot higher. So that's what the GET program is about, is really trying to move it from a debt model to a savings model.
Yes, in reverse. Okay, and so let's say I want to go to college. I either have to take out loans, or I have to work and go to college. And I have to worry about my housing too, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to have to either ask my parents, or somebody's got to pay for my college, correct?
Right, and you know, it used to be that you could go to school and work and pay as you go. That isn't the situation now. Tuition is too expensive for families to pay as you go. So a lot of families will say, you know what, you're going to get a job, you're going to get scholarships, and then the time comes, and the reality is they might be able to get a job, but they'd have to get like 2 full-time jobs to be able to pay
for it.
Yeah,
right.
To pay for it as you go. And the reality is that most of these scholarships that families count on are really loans. You know, when they go to the school, it's really, you know, here's how many loans you're eligible for. Most financial aid packages are based on loans. So a lot of times families are very surprised when they show up at college and they are having to take out these heavy student and parent plus loans. And it really can make a huge difference as to where they go to school, whether they stay in school, because a lot of times parents are like, whoa, you know, if you're not getting great grades, and you know, you're out, because this is way too expensive. So it puts a lot of pressure on kids to know what they want to do right away. And so it's planning ahead and saving ahead is really the way for families to go, and that's what this program is really all about.
Because what happens is, if you don't think about tuition in early ages, when they get to be young adults, 20, 21 years old, they decide, well, I can work and make $30,000 a year, or I can go into debt. You know, and so I'll say, well, I'll just work, and then pretty soon they get caught up in a job, and they never have time to go to school.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that what's going on? So, so tell us about the benefits of actually prepaying for a college tuition or a college degree, and the benefits of starting while you're younger or any time.
Right. Well, the idea with the GET program is exactly that. It's planning ahead. It's starting as young as you can. Kindergarten or younger is the best. If you could start before you have children, that would be even better.
Can you do that? I mean,
yes,
does my child have to be in school?
Every account has a purchaser, somebody that owns the account, the owner of the account, and then a student. So you can, and then they're completely transferable. So you can open an account in your own name for yourself and then transfer it to a child later. So we have a lot of people that are planning ahead and saying, you know, we don't have kids yet, but we're going to in the next 5 or 10 years, and they start while they have the money, before they have kids and diapers and daycare.
Isn't that something?
It's a really smart way to think about it.
Thank you for clearing that up. So are you finding that too, Ryan? Because I know you do a lot of the marketing that people just don't realize. As soon as you have that child or think about a child, you can start.
Yeah, if you look at the average age of our student beneficiary over the course of our program, how long it's been around, that age has been going down steadily. So now the average age of our student beneficiary is about 5 years old. So most of the families opening the GET accounts are families with really young kids that haven't even begun school yet. So
wow, that is something.
And even if you start younger, even just saving a little bit, and then as your child gets older and they get out of diapers, maybe think about putting that money in. And then when they're not in full-time daycare, but they're in after-school daycare. So we're really trying to help families think about how they're saving and planning ahead, so that when they have, and making sacrifices, a lot of times it's really about sitting down and looking at your budget and saying, what are our goals and how are we going to get there? And maybe driving the old car for another couple of years and using that car payment to really thinking about where you want to get instead of all of a sudden in high school. And that's, most families think about college and saving for college around middle school, because that's when they're like, oh my gosh,
right,
we're almost there. What are we going to do? How are we going to pay for this? And there's just not enough time. There's not enough time to save.
But is it too late? Is it too late?
It's not too late to start saving. It's never too late to start saving. But with the GET program, it is really designed for younger families. So we are priced and valued at the highest tuition, Washington State University, future tuition. So you really need at least 4 to 6 years to really have the full benefits of the program.
Right.
It's really designed for young families. So you certainly can, but you probably wouldn't want to use them in the beginning of your college, maybe later or graduate school. But if you really want to have enough time to pay for 2 to 4 years of college and actually have come out ahead, you want to start as young as you can. And that's really probably the number one complaint that we hear when we go on the road is, why didn't I hear about this program sooner?
Yes.
Which is exactly why we're here. And also, why didn't I start last year? Or, why didn't I do this? I was going to do this last year. Why didn't I do this last year? And then they see that the price goes up every year as tuition goes up. Right. And this is a great year to think about the program because tuition is flat. It has been flat for the last 2 years after 3 years of double-digit increases. And so the price is leveled out. It's a good time. We know that tuition is going to go up over time. It always has. Over the last 33 years, it's been over 7% average. And again, we had 3 years of close to 20% increases just in our recent history. And so, it always goes up and down, and we're in a down, so it's going to go back up. So it's a great time to think about it and really plan ahead because tuition is going to go up, and this program is all about protecting you from that.
See, the thing is, like me as a mother, with the kids in school, I'm just thinking about getting them, up in the morning, getting them, at school, getting their homework taken care of, and I'm bombarded all day long with messages from the school, emails, messages, and then when I hear about prepaid colleges, it gets murked in all the messages. So what can I do? Ron, let me ask you this. What can I do as an administrator in a school to make sure my students know about this and the parents?
Right.
What can I do?
Well, I know a lot of school principals, every year at the beginning of the school year, they'll hold resource fairs or open house events, and we get invited to a lot of those school events to be able to share information with parents that way. We have information and flyers designed to go home to parents through the kids. We've worked really hard, sort of on a digital front, to have links from school district websites, parent resource pages to our website, so that it's easy for them to find as they're looking at all the other things in their kid's life that they're trying to manage. So.
Right, it's pretty easy. Now, it's as easy as just calling up or going online and signing up.
Yeah, it's really pretty easy. We try to make it as easy as possible for folks. If they go to our website, get.wa.gov, it's real simple. It'll walk you through the process of setting up and opening an account.
Right, so we want to really distinguish between, you are a state program for savings as opposed to being part of the school district.
Right.
That's correct.
Yeah, and we're basically here. The sole purpose and mission of us is to help families save so that there's greater access to higher education in our state. And, our state benefits from that by having a well-educated workforce with less debt. And
our program is designed for Washington residents. You have to be a resident at the time you sign up, though if you move later, that's fine. You can keep your account and continue to contribute it. But it's really designed to take away barriers for Washington residents so that they can plan ahead and save for college in a safe and secure environment, and really helping families think ahead and plan ahead so that they have enough money to go wherever they want, wherever they want to send their child in the future. So that's really what we're all about. It's participants' money. It's not state money.
Yes, exactly. So in other words, it is my money. It's not something that's going to disappear into a black hole.
And you can have your money back when you want. But there's a lot of benefits for the program because it's a 529 prepaid tuition program. It's tax exempt. You never have to pay taxes on it. So it's a great way to save and not have to worry about later on. If you just put it in a savings account, you're going to have to pay tax on the increased value. This program protects you from that. You can use it anywhere, in-state, out-of-state, public, private. And you can transfer it on. It's very portable. You can transfer it to another family member if you choose not to go or if your plans change. So we try to make it as simple and as flexible, taking away as many barriers as we can for people saying, oh, I can't save, or I don't have enough money to save. We have a lot of people that even just save $5 a month. I mean, they just do what they can.
Well, yeah, I mean, if I could wave my magic wand, I would just tell every parent, you've got a child going to school, you need to get a program like this.
Right.
And a story. I mean, I could say that, but why would somebody, it sounds like an amazing program. What are some of the barriers why people choose not to participate? So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the parent who says, well, I just need to get them through high school. I never went to college, so why should they?
Yeah.
What would you say to the parent who has that type of an attitude?
Well, I think you want to give your kid every opportunity to succeed. And I think we're actually seeing the opposite of what you're saying right now.
Good.
We're seeing a lot of parents who are graduating with that debt. There are 770,000 residents in the state of Washington carrying student loan debt at a total of $18 billion.
Right. Oh,
so you
yes.
have a lot of folks graduating who are having young kids, and they're saying, you know what, I don't want my kids to be left with this same burden that I have right now. So they've started to save even while they're paying off their own debt. Because they, you know, my kid's going to graduate, and they're going to graduate without the debt that I have, so that, you know, they can take the job that they want. They're not taking a job just to be able to pay off their student loan. Or, you know, they're going to have the ability when they graduate to buy a car, or to hopefully save enough money to begin buying a home, and some of these other things that a lot of folks with this huge student loan debt burden aren't able to do. So I really think it's the opposite. We don't really encounter a lot of parents that say, well, you're on your own on this.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's, you know, and it's funny because on the other side, I tell my kids, you know, you're my retirement account, okay?
Right.
Yeah.
When I invest in you, I invest in me.
Exactly.
You're going to take care of
a
me.
lot of people do think, though, that maybe their kid is going to get, or their child is going to get a scholarship.
Right.
Yeah.
And that, you know, is, you know, they'll say, well, you know, it's okay because you're smart, you're going to get scholarships, or you're going to go, you know, you're going to get an athletic scholarship or an academic scholarship. And the reality is that that's usually not how it works out. There's not that many scholarships out there.
But it's not going to pay for everything.
And it's not a full ride scholarship. Those are very, very rare. And if you did get a full ride scholarship, great. Use your GET money for other expenses, graduate school, another child. So, you know, a lot of parents, you know, they kind of put up their own barriers or excuses, if you will.
And another thing, too, because it was really exciting, you saying that you can also use it for housing.
Oh,
so
yeah.
if my child needs to stay in a dorm room or something like that, I
On
want to get them
campus
out of the
or
house.
off. Right,
Okay.
exactly.
It would behoove me to help them with
Exactly.
that.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so we only have a few minutes left here yet again, but tell us again the website they can go to get more information.
It's get.wa.gov, get.wa.gov, and it's a very robust website. You can get frequently asked questions. You can send us an email. You can get you can enroll right there and get started. And we really just encourage people, take action. This is the year to get started. There's a one-time non-refundable application fee, $50. That's all it costs you to get in. That's the only fee you're ever charged, other than the money that you put in, that you choose to put in, either by the month. You can set up a payment plan. You can do payroll deduction. You can have automatic withdrawal out of your paycheck. We just try to make it as easy as possible. And you can always call us and ask your individual question, your situation. You know, what should I do? My child is this old. I have 5 children. Whatever your situation is, and we can help you work through making this as painless as possible and get you started. And the sooner you start, the better off you're going to be.
Okay, so that website again is
get.wa.gov.
Thank you so much for joining us, and I would like to implore some parents out there, grandparents, godparents, cousins, uncles, if you have a child you're concerned about going through college, make sure you visit their website and get started now. Now is the word. Anyways, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
My name is Tina Lombard. You're watching Public Report.
Today we want to find out how big a good marriage is.
You mean how many people it affects?
Yes.
Let's go find out.
How big is it? I can't measure it.
Let's use those trees or those trees.
It's worldwide. I would say big as the universe, and that universe is infinite.
So your marriage affects more than just the two of you.
How many people are we talking about?
At least 1,000.
Thousands.
Yeah.
Hundreds of thousands.
I think it stands out more than we realize.
If you bring joy to your marriage, people are kind of like, I want that too.
You're drawn to that because you see those nice people being together, being happy, and you want to enjoy that too.
If you were going to take all these people that your marriage has influenced, what kind of building would you need to house them all?
It's going to be quite a big building.
Oh, that would have to be a cathedral.
A gymnasium.
Stadium.
We're not the stadium level.
How about that one?
So a good marriage really is good for more than two.
Yeah, a good marriage goes a long way.
Want to improve your marriage? For ideas, go to foryourmarriage.org. A message from the Catholic Church.
Hi, welcome to Public Report. I'm Tanny Jackson, and today we're talking to Keely Brown and Kelly Coleman of SULIP. So we're going to go to them right now and ask you, what is SULIP?
So SULIP is Seattle Urban League Young Professionals. We are an auxiliary of the Urban League of Metropolitan Seattle, where our CEO is Pamela Banks. And we are a young professional group between the ages of 21 to 40, focusing on philanthropic and volunteer efforts for the Urban League and our community, in addition to professional and personal development of our members as well.
And you're president?
Yes, I am president for this upcoming year.
Okay, awesome. And Kellen, you are marketing chairperson.
Yes, and out to just meet everybody in Seattle that wants to build community and business and partnerships.
We're talking about young professionals. What builds a strong leader? Because you're making strong leaders there.
Yes. So with our professional development and leadership development, because those are not always the same thing, but for strong leaders is basically the awareness that you want to be a leader and to stand up and say that I am a leader. A lot of people don't think that they have the skill sets to be a leader because they lack the title. And so you don't need a title to be a leader, but you have to have the awareness that you are a leader and that you will be a leader, in addition to the follow-through and the communication skill sets as well to lead an organization or to lead a group of people, and the vision. Leaders are always visionaries.
So how do they work as a team?
The efforts that we're channeling here in the community, if it's health, education, if it is economic development or professional development, we need leaders in all these key areas to advance in the community, to advance services, programs, and basically tackle the needs and the challenges of our community.
Okay. I want to share a quote of yours, Keely, and this is from you. It is my goal to continue to advance our professional membership and empower our community towards greater heights. Can you expound on that?
Yes. So like every community, there are some disparities. So one of the things that we're focusing on in the Seattle community are those disparities. If it's in education, if it's within our youth, as far as STEM summits or STEM workshops, or just being educated, knowing what jobs or what opportunities or what classes do my child need to take in science, technology, engineering, the arts, or math, in addition to health disparities and economic disparities as well. When I'm talking about economic disparities, the opportunity to gain job employment or to advance your career. Those are a lot of disparities that that hinder our opportunity to advance in our careers and our professional lives, not necessarily as young professionals, but our community as well.
You emphasize 5 areas of empowerment, and some of those: education and youth, economic, health and quality of life, civic engagement and leadership, civil rights and racial justice. Can you expound on some of those?
Yes. So those are the National Urban League Empowerment Strategies.
Okay.
So in our community, we focus on those 5 empowerment strategies and how do we empower the community in those areas. And then earlier I was talking about the disparities and reducing those disparity gaps within those 5 empowerment strategies and empowering the community. So if it is, a home ownership program through the Urban League or other services that we have out here in the community, or if it's Affordable Health Care Act, if we're registering people to sign up for affordable health care in our community, and making them aware of these services. But those are some of the things that are offered in our community, some of the services that are offered in our community to empower our community in those 5 empowerment strategy areas.
Okay. You are reaching out to the community with different services such as Health Fest, STEM summits, free medical, dental, and vision services, and the list kind of goes on. Yes. Please share what's going on.
Making people aware about our Affordable Health Care Act and STEM workshops and home ownership opportunities, in addition to job advancement opportunities and how to develop as a professional.
And I see you have on here free medical, dental, vision.
Yes. So that was a part of the Seattle Health Fest that we volunteered for a couple of weeks ago, in addition to the affordable health care opportunities that are now free of service to a lot of our community that a lot of people are not aware of. So we spend a lot of time registering people for affordable health care here in the state of Washington. And some people are eligible for free medical services and free medical, well, really health care as a whole.
And how often are these services provided, available?
We work through our Department of Health, and basically there's counselors there that can talk to the community more about the programs that are offered to them. In addition to, we'll hold like a community event where we're registering people in our community at a local community center.
What's the biggest challenge for SULIP?
I think the biggest challenge is awareness.
Okay.
There are so many programs, so many services in our community, and how do we direct those services, and how do we get people involved in our community into these services and programs? So, and just managing that effort as a whole, because our job is to empower our community. So if, and I know about, let's say I know of 5 different STEM workshops that are upcoming. You know, and how do I get parents involved and their children involved into these STEM workshops? And how do I get our community involved in signing up for affordable health care? So that is always, you know, our biggest challenge is the